Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got this clip that I want to show, and usually I run up on these clips kind of often about couples therapies, and the little clips are usually something really important to talk about in terms of marriage. I want you to listen to this. Now, we're going to play it up until, because this other gentleman gives his perspective about it. We don't, with all due respect, we don't want to listen to that. I just want you to listen to the context of the clip itself. So here we go.
On Saturday, we went to the park and met with some friends, and we were playing couples games. Yeah. And one question we got stumped on. Well, more so, he got stumped on.
The question said, how do you know that your partner has forgiven you?
Mm-hmm. And I answered the question very easily. Just, you just come back around. You talk to me again. We laugh again. He couldn't answer the question.
I couldn't answer.
Your thought process?
Yeah, so I initially thought, okay, I don't actually know that India ever forgives me for anything, because every time there's a fight, it's the fight plus whatever else I'm always like fighting against.
Everything that has accumulated.
Yeah, everything that has accumulated.
Yeah.
There's so much already stacked against me.
It doesn't even matter what you're saying now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And it makes me feel very defeated at times.
Just because a fight is over.
Now, that was very telling. It was telling. And I want to use this situation to point out to ladies. And I'm not picking on women as if women are the only culprits in marriages that are in breakdown. But we have a tendency as women to do things and it's subtle and it's nothing to us. And because it's nothing to us, or because it's small to us, we don't see the issue with how we're moving. We don't really understand the gravity of those subtle things that we do. This one in particular was talking about how they had gone and was playing couples games. And one of the questions was, how do you know that your partner has forgiven you? She thought it was a good thing, or like, well, he got stuck on a question. But that actually reflected badly upon her. The reason she was able to answer the question is because he was clear in his communication of, we're done with it. We're all is forgiven. She didn't have the same problem as he did with him bringing up all of the past things that happened. He was just cool again. It was just like, okay, we're cool, and we're not going to bring up this issue, whatever issue had us kind of at each other's throats a little bit, and I'm not going to bring up all the past things that upset me in the past. But he was stuck on the answers to the question, and she didn't realize that was her fault. He couldn't answer that question properly because of her. And it didn't reflect well. It reflected negatively. She throws everything at him. He said something very key. He said, I don't even know that she actually ever forgives me for anything. And the reason why he feels that way is because whenever she's upset, she's upset about all the things. She's upset about the thing that happened yesterday. She's upset about the thing that happened a month ago. She's upset about the thing that happened 2 weeks ago. She's upset about the thing that happened 6 months ago. She's upset about it's all of it. He has to deal with all of it. And even though time passes, she's not communicating with him whether or not a certain thing is resolved or not. Okay? She don't communicate that to him. She just lets the time go, and then she lets him come back around, but she's not cool. She's acting cool, she's playing cool, but she's not cool. She's not cool with him. And these things, mind you, don't have to be super serious big things. Usually they're small things. Usually there's small annoyances or small habits, things like that. And you may have a conversation about them. And you never, as the woman in a relationship, you're never actually saying, I'm good. I'm good with it. You know, it could be a habit that he has that he doesn't readily change. If you can live with it, maybe it's a little annoying. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not going to dwell my energy into it. I'm not going to keep focusing on it, because if I focus on it, it's going to make me mad. And do I really want to be mad at this? It boils down to a lot of women do not understand how to pick your battles. Every little thing that bothers you, from the little thing to the big thing, you can't complain about all of it. You cannot complain about all of it. You are going to have to use discernment to recognize when you got to hold them and when you got to fold them. You got to recognize, when is this a worthy conversation that I need to have with my husband about X, Y, and Z. And I have to figure out how to have this conversation in such a way where he will hear it. We don't need defensiveness. We don't need him to jump mad about it. We don't need him to automatically get upset or, have a bad reaction as soon as I say something. We have to have this conversation and communicate in such a way where there is an actual resolution that comes about, that is a win-win situation, a win for me and a win for him. We both get some of what we want, and we can reach an area where we agree, okay. And then there are some things you can't make it an issue. You can't make it an issue. You've got to leave it alone. You've got to leave it alone. You've got to not say. You can't say everything. You can't say everything. You can't, and you most certainly cannot bring up all past arguments whenever you're upset. And sometimes women will do this when apologies have been given or behavior has been corrected and changed. You'll still bring it up as, well, remember you did this, or I was upset about that. It's undermining to your relationship, and it destroys it. I don't think a lot of women understand the power of our tongues, the power of a woman's words. We have the power of words like men have the strength of their bodies. That's really the equivalent. We have a power and a way with words that is equivalent to the strength in a man's body and how he views his strength. He can either build or destroy with that strength. He can either use those hands to protect you, or he can use those hands to whoop on you. Similarly with our words, we can use those words to build our relationships and marriages, or we can use those words to undermine and destroy them. It's really your choice on what you're intending to do and what you're trying to do, and figure out a better way to do it. Just because women talk more doesn't mean that they're the better communicators. You're doing a lot of talking, but you're not having a lot of resolution. If there's something that you really need to speak with your husband about that thing, speak about that thing until there is a resolution. Once a resolution is come to, you don't get to bring up a past hurt in a future argument, but we resolve that. You don't get to bring that back up. You don't get to bring that back up because it confuses the other person, especially if that person was remorseful or apologetic, things of that nature. It's like, well, man, I can't even apologize. Like, that doesn't even do it. And then it's like you lying to them because you're acting cool with me, but you're not really cool. I'm gonna tell you, that's one thing. That's one of my pet peeves. Personally, don't let me apologize and try to rectify behavior towards you, this, that, and the third, and let me think we're over it, only for you to bring that back up a couple weeks later. That's about to tick me clean off. I'm about to get ticked clean off with that. Because if you got beef, say that. If you got beef, say it. I don't want to hear that 3 weeks from now. I don't want to hear that 2 weeks from now. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, I don't want to have that conversation. Where that conversation come from? So you've been harboring this in your mind and your heart for how long? And you just not want to bring it up after we've been cool. We done had sex. We done went out. We done ate. We done laughed. We done talked. And now when you want to sit down and have a 3, 4, 6-week-old conversation with me about some stuff that supposedly we got over. Didn't we have this conversation though 6 weeks ago when the thing occurred? And did I not apologize? And was I not remorseful? And did I not change the behavior? So what are we talking about? So what exactly are we discussing? See, that ticked me clean off just thinking about it. You undermine your relationship when you do stuff like that, because now the other person doesn't know how to respond. They don't know how to respond. Just like this man here was lost, and he actually got emotional for a second there, thinking about, because he doesn't know how to respond. She's muddied the waters to such a extent that he doesn't know. Being good with her, chilling with her, taking her out, having sex with her, and smacking a 5 doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean she's all right. It doesn't mean that she's not gonna bring something up that happened a few weeks ago today. That it doesn't mean that. Being cool with her doesn't mean that she's cool. There's no way that your husband should ever walk around in a consistent fog of feeling like you never actually ever forgive him or get over anything. That is so unfair. That is unfair. To keep him in emotional limbo with you. But then you'll turn around and expect emotional security from him. You don't give him the security. You got him on shaky ground. He don't know where to step. That makes a man walk on eggshells with you. And a lot of times men get tired of that eggshell walking. Now, because I got to tiptoe all the time. Like all the time I got to tiptoe about everything. And see, some men, they better than me, because I'm not going to tiptoe around nobody. If I got the eggshell walk, you will need to even be in contact. Because I'm going to be myself. And you got the space to be yourself. I don't make you tiptoe around me. And if ever we come to a situation where we got to talk, let's talk. Let's hash it out. Aren't you my friend? Aren't I your friend? We can't talk. You got better communication with your girlfriend. You mean to tell me you can't get it together with the man that you sleep next to every night? A lot of chicks, y'all got to get it together. Get it together. Because sometimes y'all do stuff and you don't even really realize how damaging it is to your relationship. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, this is your host, it's the Crimson Cure. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.